everybody. My next guest tonight co-stars on the hit FX series It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Very funny show. Please welcome Kaitlin Olson. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. You got a DVD.
Yes, I have the DVDs right here. Nor have I, actually. They just delivered this seconds ago.
It's exciting. It's hot off the presses.
Yeah, it is actually warm. There's a... And I should explain this because we live in a world now where there's a lot of different shows. Your show is getting a lot of attention. It has this very rabid cult following. It's a dark, dark show.
It's a lot
of dark humor in this show. No subject on this program is taboo.
Yeah, it's a little touchy.
Yeah, I mean, I watch it, and you end up laughing. You laugh, but you guys deal.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, you guys deal with stuff that most shows would be afraid to make fun of. And I have to ask you, you've got family, you've got parents.
I do have parents.
Grandparents. What do they think?
You know, my family thinks it's hilarious. My brother, my mom, my dad think it's great. I do have grandparents. My grandfather saw an episode in season 1 where my character is afraid of old people, and
has an irrational fear of the elderly.
Yeah, I find them creepy. Their skin's too thin and all kinds of interesting things. But my grandpa immediately called my father and asked how long I've been hating old people.
Really?
Yeah.
And did your dad stick up for you?
My dad was like, you know, if you turned on the TV and forgot you were watching a television show, it's time for you to kick the bucket.
Let's talk about your dad for a second. Your dad
He's
now...
a smart man.
Your dad intrigues me. If you don't know that's television, you should just die.
It was time for him to die.
Father.
Yeah,
time to die. That's always a nice thing to say to the elderly. Does your dad then? Sounds like your dad has a bit of a dark sense of humor.
My dad's awesome. My dad's definitely the funniest man I know. I appreciate his humor much more now than I did when I was little, because it was just, he just had a habit of embarrassing me all the time.
Would he try to embarrass you?
Yes, he would absolutely. He had this thing where he wanted to mortify me and then say, making memories.
Really?
Oh, okay.
You'll remember that horrible moment forever.
I remember wanting to kill yourself right now.
Right.
When you're older. Yeah.
Well, can you give me an example of something he did where he intentionally humiliated you?
Yeah. There was this one time I was in junior high. I was afraid of everyone, everything, including myself. I was in love with this boy, and he was a real beefcake. He was a drum major. I don't know. I have better taste now. But I was so in love with him, and we saw him at the grocery store, and my dad and I was like, we got to get out of here. I need to leave. And my dad's like, leave? Go up and talk to him.
Right.
Talk to him? No, he's some sort of an animal. I'm not going to talk to him. Let's go. So my dad was like, all right. So we start to leave the store. My dad grabs a bottle of water, takes the top off, and dumps it on my butt. So it looks like I peed my pants.
What?
Right in front of the guy, and is like, okay, all right, sweetie, it's all right. We'll find the bathroom. We'll go find the bathroom for you.
Oh, my God. What is his deal? Making memories.
Making memories. He's a good man.
Yeah. What a lovely father.
Yeah, that's a good guy.
Okay, well, Danny DeVito plays your father on the show.
Yeah.
Okay, what's Danny DeVito like?
Danny's awesome. He's a really sweet guy. He's very quirky. The first time I met him was the first day that he showed up to shoot a scene, and I happened to be in that scene. And the premise was that he was trying to whore me out to this politician, so he's got me all dressed up in these slutty clothes. So we're standing on set, and we're getting ready to shoot the scene, and I literally was just like, hello, nice to meet you. I'm Kaitlin. You're very famous. And he was like, yeah, hi. So, pull those boobs out. Pull your boobs up a little bit. I'm like, what? I'm mic'd, so I'm like, okay, looking around, seeing if anyone's gonna save me, and the sound guy's like,
right. He's famous, you're on your own.
Pull your boobs out.
Yeah.
But he was getting into character. Like, that's just how he does it.
Oh, he was getting ready for the scene that he was going to do.
Yeah. Then we started the scene, and he was like, hey, pull your boobs up. I was like, oh, that's what you were doing. You're not a really creepy, horribly inappropriate man.
Maybe that's just his excuse on practicing for a scene. Maybe he's constantly walking around on the subway, pull your boobs out.
Yeah.
Practicing for a scene.
Sorry. Pull your pants down. I'm Danny DeVito.
I'm going to spank you now. It's a scene.
Sorry, I'm acting.
Someone told me, and I hope this is not true, that you recently, July 4th, you broke your back.
I broke my back.
Well, my God. Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that you're moving around.
Thank you, Conan.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we got that out of the way. What happened?
We were right in the middle of shooting. It was 4th of July weekend. I was standing outside of my house with my fiance, Rob McElhenney, who was also on the show. And my neighbor decides to pick me up and hold me up over his head.
What, your neighbor just decided to do this for no reason?
He may or may not have had a few drinks. I said it was the 4th of July. I don't know. He
Right.
he's a big football player, and his excuse was like, I do this all the time. Cheerleaders. I'm not this one, not a cheerleader.
Right.
No.
So what did he do? He picked you up over his head?
Yeah,
Your
like-
neighbor runs over, picks you up over his head.
We're talking, we're hanging around. I don't know, he's screwing around. He picks me up over his head and then drops me behind him, and I fell on the ground and broke my back. And I'm writhing around in pain, and he decides to start apologizing to Rob. I'm so sorry, Rob. Rob, I'm so sorry. I'm like, hello, you broke me. I'm on the ground. You didn't break Rob.
So he was apologizing to your boyfriend.
Yeah.
And so, is this guy in jail now? What happened to this man?
Well, I talked to 50 Cent backstage, and we're going to have him taken out.
No.
Yeah.
But Curtis Jackson wants nothing to do with it. Count me out. Wow, so you break your back. This is a horrible story.
Yeah.
How did because you seem fine now.
I'm fine. My doctors said it was going to be 6 to 8 weeks, but we were in the middle of a show, so I had to try and do whatever I could to heal as fast as possible. So I had this Chinese healing technique guy come over and work on my back like every other day. I don't know what he was doing. He was like an acupuncturist and doing like some fancy rubbing. I was face down. He was behind me rubbing and doing things. I don't know. All I know is it worked. I don't ask questions.
Did you see a certificate?
Huh? Why?
You're Chinese. You should know some crazy
Get back
technique.
there.
Get back there. Get to work. Sounds like you didn't look into this very thoroughly.
Look, I'm walking, Conan. Don't fight it. Don't argue it.
All right. Were you in a wheelchair for a while?
I was in a wheelchair. I was in a prop wheelchair because our props guy was like, I got a wheelchair for you. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you. I'll use it.
It sounds like you didn't do any of the things you should have done.
I was in a hurry. I don't know.
You
I
went to
didn't think
some
it
man
through.
who may or may not have been a specialist, said, do whatever you got to do back there. I'm not looking.
Yeah.
And then told the prop guy to get you a wheelchair.
Yeah, it didn't fall apart until like 3 or 4 days in. So
Right,
I was good.
Well, at least you're healthy. That's the important thing.
Thank you.
And the show, I have not seen anything quite like it on television. and I mean that in a nice way. It's
Thank
very
you.
original, very funny. You should check it out. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia returns September 18th at 10 o'clock on FX. And this is season 3, right? Now available.
That's season 3, yep.
Available on DVD, so check that out. I'm glad to see that you're doing better. You're
Thank you
feeling
very
well.
much.
Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you. Kaitlin Olson, we'll be right back. Gym class heroes are here.